Am I the a-hole for wanting my fiancée to have dandelion in her wedding bouquet? I need to know if I'm in the wrong here. I, 29 male, am getting married to my fiancée, 31 female. As a kid, it was always a running joke between my mom and I that if she got married, she would have dandelions at the wedding. They would be in her bouquet, the decorations everywhere. Sadly, my mom won't be at my wedding. She's declining fast and probably won't make it another month. So, I want dandelions to be at the wedding to symbolize her. I went to my fiancée with this as she is doing most of the planning and told her that I want some dandelions in her bouquet and on table decorations. She made a face and told me those flowers won't hold up for it. I told her we could get fake ones off Amazon or somewhere. She told me she will not have weeds in all of the wedding photos. I was shocked and we started arguing, but got nowhere. I left to cool off and her maid of honor called me and told me I was a jerk, that the weed has no place at the wedding. And how dare I ask her to walk down with something my mom wanted to do at her wedding? Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments before the mini update. So your fiancé refuses to have even one dandelion as a tribute to your dying mother? She sounds cold AF. Not the a-hole. If this were me, I would be getting married tomorrow in the hospital room or wherever my significant other's mother was while she's still here, surrounded by as many dandelions as possible. Having another ceremony/reception etc. later with everyone else is always an option. Not the a-hole, but do reconsider this relationship OP. Massive red flag. Not the a-hole. Get one and place it in your boutonniere. That way, you are honoring your mom. And it will be in all the pictures. Go on Google Pictures or Pinterest to show how it can be done tastefully. This is great. Also, if your bride-to-be won't bend an inch to honor your mom while she's dying, then she's an a-hole. It's not that big of a deal to put a less glamorous flowers into the decor. I bet most professional decorators/florists would take up the challenge to make it look good. Not the a-hole. It strikes me that the bride was all no, and not even let's find a solution. There are plenty of options if she doesn't want a live dandelion in her bouquet, like maybe a little pin or keychain if one attached to whatever is keeping the bouquet together. Not the a-hole. Weed is a subjective term and this means a lot to you. She can't make one compromise for something that's really important to you because her aesthetic matters more? That does not bode well for your marriage. You sure this lady is the one? Also, whenever you do get married, you should also put a dandelion pinned to your lapel or something so you can represent your mom too. Edit/update. I went back to talk to her with all of the suggestions. I really like the dandelion on a plate for my mom or the dandelion lights. We were going to have a light wall, and it would be easy to switch out since we give the person the lights we want. Anyways, I asked if she knew maid of honor called me and she was surprised by that. I also asked if this is my wedding too, or should I just be happy not to have a say? She was quiet at that. I then asked why we can't compromise somewhere for the dandelions. Why they can't be anywhere? Well, she doesn't like my mother. I have been spending a lot of time with her recently and she feels neglected. She doesn't want to be reminded about my mother on what is supposed to be the happiest day of her life. I don't know where to go from here. Next story. Am I the a-hole for wanting to pay down my house instead of spending on a vacation for my boyfriend and I when I got a major pay bump? I just job hopped and landed a job at a frankly ridiculous salary. I went from making $120K from doing software engineering to $310K in a senior systems engineering role, plus a sign-on bonus and stock options. It's a startup company that's high risk, high reward. So it's a gamble if the company will still exist in a few years, but for now it's great. I decided I didn't want to change my lifestyle at all, since the money is probably temporary. So, I kept on spending like usual and just put all the extra money into maxing out my retirement savings and paying down my house. I've also been in a relationship with my boyfriend Jason for about a year and a half. He makes about 90K, so he's doing really well himself. We're both in a low cost of living rural area, and he's still making a lot more than average here. But after I got a new job, he started being really critical of how I spend, or don't spend. Like I wanted to build a sunroom gazebo for my house. So I went to the construction material recycling and reuse center to buy some lumber and some vintage windows to make it. Woodworking and DIY is genuinely a hobby of mine, but my boyfriend made fun of me for still going to the junkyard to build the gazebo even when I could afford to hire a contractor. But the bigger fight has been about a vacation. We'd planned to do a road trip in the summer, camping most of the way, and staying in hotels a night or two a week to shower and stay near cities we visit. But after I got the new job, he wants to stay in hotels every night. I was kinda stressed about that, because I don't want to start spending like I always have this kind of cash flow and have that lifestyle creep, since I know it might not last, and I don't want to feel disappointed or struggle when I have to scale back my spending. So it was really important to me to just put away whatever extra money that's temporarily coming through for the future. But my boyfriend told me I was being ridiculous, wanting to sleep on the ground at our vacation when I was making so much. I said I love camping. I was looking forward to all the camping and hiking and climbing we'd planned. And he just kinda snapped at me saying that I seem to love everything that's cheap or free, and it's kinda entitled honestly. I said if anyone's acting entitled, it's honestly him, when he just wanted me to pay for something he didn't even ask if I wanted, didn't even offer to split the cost or anything. It's like he just saw me making more and decided he wanted to spend it. We had this big fight where he said I was all me, only caring about my house and my retirement, and how I'd spend thousands a month paying my mortgage faster than I need to, but wouldn't even do the minimum to make our vacation nice. Am I the a-hole for wanting to use the money coming in from a new job to save for the future? Your boyfriend sounds like he has extremely different financial values from you. The concerning thing here is that he refuses to respect your financial values and seek to impose his on you. He absolutely feels entitled to your money. It's fantastic this happened now, because he's showing you who he is before the relationship gets more serious. End it. This isn't the guy. Not the a-hole. OP, you don't have to pay for any fancy vacation if you don't want to, but this is more than that. It's about incompatibility with a change of circumstances and entitlement on his part. If you lose your high-paying job tomorrow, will he make good of all the money he made you spend on a vacation the way he wanted? I think the answer is no. So decide about the bigger thing now, aka finance, since money issues are going to crop up frequently from now on with this attitude. Do you want to fight to keep your money and spend it sensibly, or indulge in a tug-of-war with a man who clearly doesn't respect your boundaries? The fact that he's seeing paying off a mortgage and saving for retirement as entitled is a big red flag. Either he doesn't see this relationship lasting long-term, because otherwise, solid investments like real estate and retirement savings would eventually benefit them both. Or he doesn't think that planning for the future is valid. Yeah, to be honest, it sounds more like he's saying, you're getting all this money and you're not spending it on me. You're selfish. Kinda entitled. Not the a-hole. It's your job, your money, and pretty rude for your boyfriend to decide how you should spend it. If he wants to be a big spender, he should find a job where he makes more. You aren't all me, because you are literally looking forward to a trip where you'd be spending a lot of close time with him. For you, it's about the simple things. For him, it's about money. Your money. Exactly. Plus, I think OP's being really smart with her money here. With the way things are in this current economy, I think being careful about where you spend your money is a necessity. Paying off the debt as soon as you can is what everyone should try to do, so not the a-hole. And if OP wants a future with her boyfriend, then she should have an open and serious discussion about financial priorities, so that both of you are on the same page about your spending habits and expectations towards each other. Next story. Am I the a-hole for calling my girlfriend disgusting and telling her she should be ashamed when she was crying? I'm a 40-year-old man and my girlfriend of a year is 38. She has a daughter from a previous partner who is 14 and a freshman in high school. I went over there yesterday to find my girlfriend crying. I tried to figure out what was going on and where I can help when she told me she was crying about her daughter and how she is doing in school. I love her daughter. She's the sweetest girl ever. And I wish my daughters were as well behaved as her. If I have to describe her daughter, she has a nice friend group, does not have troubles with bullies, and generally seems very happy. I bet you're wondering why her mother would be crying if this was the case. My girlfriend was crying because her daughter is not the popular athlete, cheerleader, homecoming queen that she was in school. Her daughter marches to the beat of her own drum, which I think is the best anyone can hope for. Yes, she's a little bit dorky, but her own mother referred to her as a loser during this crying fit. She's very into anime. Her and some friends actually started an anime club at their school, Pokemon and video games. Most of her wardrobe is black t-shirts with anime or video game characters on them. Again, she's a happy kid. She's got her social circle who all have similar interests. It's just not the circle her mom wishes she was in. Here are some quotes from her during this that turned me red. I never would have imagined my daughter would be a dweeb. She needs to grow out of this before college. And my personal favorite, I wouldn't have been caught dead with kids that look like that. I called her disgusting and told her she should be ashamed of herself. I said her daughter is happy, and how would she feel to hear her mom crying about her perceived popularity? I told her how lucky she has it, that her daughter doesn't deal with a lot of the issues kids these days have. This ends with her being upset with me because instead of consoling her when she was crying, I called her names. I don't think the crying means anything. She was saying horrible things. Now for the comments. Not the a-hole. Not gonna lie, I had my mind made up when I read a title, but her words are absolutely disgusting. Having a happy, healthy child is what her focus should be, not her popularity. Don't ignore her words though. She's just shown her true colors. I agree that the OP is not the a-hole here. Initially, I thought he would be the a-hole, but after reading the post, he actually wasn't at all. As long as the daughter is safe and healthy and happy, the mom has no cause for complaint, and she is in fact the one who's acting like the a-hole in these circumstances. Not the a-hole, OP. Calling your girlfriend disgusting is not only not going too far. In my opinion, it doesn't go far enough to describe her hateful attitude towards her daughter. Cheers to you, OP, the boyfriend, for accepting, supporting, and loving this child more than her actual mother. Make sure the daughter knows this, because I feel like it's only a matter of time before her own mother starts bullying her and trying to force her to be an exact copy of what she was in high school, if she hasn't already done so. I mean, for crying out loud. This woman seems more focused on treating her daughter like she's a trophy child than as her daughter, and that's just deplorable. I don't think her mom would go that far to start making things difficult for her daughter, but it is clearly eating her up inside. She's very conscious about what she thinks other people think of her. Info, have you just been ignoring a bunch of red flags for a year? There's no way you haven't previously noticed that your girlfriend is superficial and immature, to the point where she would crap talk about her own daughter. Do us all a favor and wait for this post to get more responses and then show it to your girlfriend. I have. I guess it's not frequent enough for me to believe there's a pattern. I've always treated them as one-off instances. Maybe I am wrong. Last story. Am I the a-hole for not letting my brother's girlfriend sit with us at my wedding? So I just got married and I've been planning this wedding for almost 2 years, and I wanted it to be perfect. My brother was best man. My sisters were bridesmaids, and my brother had been with his girlfriend for a while. She still hasn't warmed up to me, and frankly, it seems like she doesn't like me, but I invited her as a guest anyway. After the ceremony, I specifically wanted the bridesmaids, maid of honor, best man, and groomsmen to be seated with my husband and I, at least until the photographers were done catching candid shots. My brother went to pull up a chair for his girlfriend and I asked him not to. We needed to keep the colors matching and numbers, even for the photos. His girlfriend looked offended, so I told her it'd only take a few minutes and then she could join us. But right now, she just needed to stay out of the shots. My brother talked to her a little before she walked to the back tables, which she didn't have to do. She could have sat closer. My brother looked irritated, which made me slightly irritated because I didn't want him looking unhappy in the pictures. So I said he could at least pretend to look happy. I don't know why that sent him, but it did. He went off about her being shy and already feeling unwelcome in the family, and I'm not making it easy for her. I told him it didn't seem like she was happy to be here anyway. She doesn't seem like she wants to be part of this family at all. And frankly, I didn't want her unhappy expression to be permanently displayed in pictures of what's supposed to be a happy occasion. Then he storms off and sits with her. I was pissed. This was supposed to be my day. It wasn't about her. Maid is sitting at the table and even in the pictures anyway, but they still turned out okay. My brother isn't talking to me, even though I apologized and offered to apologize to his girlfriend. Some things I said out of anger, but also feel like I should have been granted some respect, and they should know how important it was to me, since they know I'd been planning this day for so long. The rest of our family and friends at the table just tell me it was awkward and don't want to pick sides. So am I the a-hole? Edit. All partners were aware and perfectly fine with waiting for pictures to be done. After the more formal candid shots were done, everyone was free to go where they wanted. Actual candid shots were going to be taken when everybody let loose and started having fun, and everyone was able to get pictures taken with friends, partners, and family. The staged candid shots were specifically to be framed and put up in our house, so I preferred only the people involved in the wedding to be in those. Everything else would be put in an album, and also shared with friends and family who might want to print theirs out. My brother and his girlfriend are still in many of the pictures. For the record, I don't think she was actively trying to get into shot or mess anything up. My brother and his girlfriend have been together around a year. And for anyone confused by the staged candid photos, I understand it sounds pretentious, but it's not easy taking actual candid shots of 10 people without at least one person looking like they're in the middle of a sneeze or something. I thought it was common etiquette that only the wedding party sit at a head table. I don't recall being at a wedding where that was not the case. Not the hall. We had 2 head tables because we wanted our wedding party dates with our partners. It also helped when one of the bridesmaids was engaged to a groomsman. But I have been to more than plenty of weddings where my wife was in the bridal party and had to sit with other people. Once the dancing starts, everyone moves around. But I will say with digital pictures, the photographer usually takes way more pictures than you could possibly fill an album with. So there really was no harm in having her in a picture at the head table, when you can take another with her not in it. We had way more photos that we didn't use, and if the photographer actually printed them out, we gave them to the guest, not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. No one wants a random ex-girlfriend of their sibling in the wedding photo on their wall. Yep, no one wants to say this, but at a time the sibling/friend will beg to have their partner in the photo, and then a year later will beg to have the photo taken down or edited to remove the ex they now hate. She only wanted a girlfriend not to be in a few photos of the wedding party, who were all wearing matching outfits.